Alright, assuming the audio's on now, so let's get going with some Shadowrun. Alright, so Shadowrun is based off of the pen and paper tabletop game, which in turn was based off of Neuromancer. You'll see a lot of similarities. You'll see the Matrix, Dex, all that kind of stuff. There's actually two Shadowrun games, one for the Super Nintendo and one for the Genesis, and they're both very different games. This one is more of a video game, and the one on Genesis is more of a Shadowrun kind of game, if that makes any sense. Alright, so it's kind of a computery game too. You see, it's got the cursor and everything like that. It can make it a little bit hard to aim with your gun, but we do our best. One important part of this game is in conversations you learn keywords, which are necessary for either buying stuff or progressing in the plot. So right there I learned the hitman keyword and the firearms one. The firearm one is actually important because you use that in just a bit to buy some grenades. So the story of the game is you wake up in that morgue with no memory, and you have to find out what you were doing and why you were killed, all that. This guy right here was Jake's old boss, that's the main character, and he was murdered for some reason. Important part of this game is that whenever you're on the streets, there's people trying to kill you, because apparently you do have a hit out on you. You'll see some of the fun enemies like that coming up real quick. There's the guys in the holes that we like to call the glory hole guys, and yeah, that's pretty much all you have to worry about in this beginning segment. You have to grab this dog collar, even though it's not going to pick it up, because gather various totems later on so that we can cast spells. So the dog collar is used for the heal spell. We have to put these shades on because we need to go back in the mortuary. And they'll just run away unless you have the shades on. Apparently, sunglasses alone is a good enough disguise to fool people. So you have to learn the dog keyword there. That's the only place in the game you can learn it. A lot of people actually get stuck on this game because they don't know they have to do that. Here we're going to learn the heal keyword. We use that to buy slap patches in the arena. This guy won't talk to us unless we give him iced tea for whatever reason. Alright, so coming up real quick here is the most important glitch of the game. I discovered this about 2 years ago. It's how you duplicate items. My timing's a bit off, but we'll get it going eventually. So, by doing this you create two instances of the item. One you can give to a vendor, like this guy. It's effectively gone right now, but since we have another use of it, we can give it back to ourselves. So, essentially we can do any weapon or armor in the game. Timing's a bit tricky, but it's not super bad. So you have to buy grenades off this guy. You can carry a maximum of 6 grenades. Grenades are pretty useful. They do a random damage number from 1 to 12. One of the big problems is that they have to be standing still in order for them to be hit by it. We have to buy that Lone Star badge as well. But that's just for the plot. Oh god. So as you can see, those glory hole guys are shooting the shit out of me there. Here we grab the cyber deck. You can actually skip getting this, but you have to rely on Shadowrunners later on, which are kind of your party members, in order to do the Matrix segments. And it's better off. You're better off just using Jake because you get the computer skill quite easily. Alright, so the reason we had to put the Shades and Lone Star badge on were to talk to these guys and get Grinder stuff, because we need to get his tickets to the Maria Mercurio concert. In addition, this lets us get a credit card, which we need to call people. So this is for when you're about midway through the game. Fortunately, we can just do it right now and not have to backtrack. We need to talk to him to get the magic fetish, which allows us to get into the Dark Blade headquarters later on. So this is an interesting little trick. You can actually queue up 2 calls. Saves you a little bit of time here, even though this guy blocks your way. You have to learn the Gutman or Glutman keyword from her. You ask her about Glutman, and that makes him actually spawn in here. Alright, we'll do a little bit of a safety save here. It's non-lethal combat in the arena at the start, but we'll just be safe. So what's going to happen here in the next 3 fights is we're going to use some AI manipulation to make it so that after certain damage thresholds we won't be able to get hit by the guys. This first guy, there's nothing to do except this really easy trick where you get stuck on the oil drum here. Accuracy in this game is dependent on the firearm stats, and the more, with every point you put into it, it gives you 12.5% accuracy up to a maximum of 87.5. That's the same with computer skill. You can only go up to 87.5. So that means even if you are attacking an IC later on, or attacking just anybody in general, you do have a chance to miss. Alright, so for this guy, we gotta go up here. He takes 3 damage. He'll go down here and not do anything. So this is the last arena fight that we're going to do besides the king. This one's a little bit trickier. We have to do 8 damage to him pretty quick. I use 2 grenades here. Should be enough. Yeah, he'll stay stuck right up there. RNG in this game is dependent on both the frame that you fire and cursor movement. So if you move it like 1 pixel to the right, you're going to have a different effect than if you had just left it where it was. Alright, so for the first uses of karma, we're going to buy body, which is just health, and then 2 into firearm, so we get our accuracy up. This next fight we can die in, so gotta have a safety save. So now that we have the king keyword, we can talk to him and ask to fight the king. He does have manipulation as well. Just have to go so over here. We'll throw the rest of our grenades at him. Use duplication trick here. Makes things a little bit faster. Not a big difference though. You can actually underflow the items and yeah, he should be stuck over there. Perfect. You can underflow the items. For grenades, it makes it so you can never buy another grenade in the game. For slat patches, you can actually underflow it to have 254 uses, but you have to not get the very first slat patch in the game that we got in the morgue. You have to get up to that point, not use it, go here to the car yard and buy it from the kid, underflow it, go back, grab the slat patch in the morgue, use it, and then you'll have 254 uses of it. Alright, so for the next attribute, we're going to get strength. That allows us to use the shotgun, which we're going to buy in just a second. So this kid sells us slat patches. I'm gonna buy. You only need to buy around 2 or 3 when you're doing a non-marathon run, but I'm gonna buy 6 just in case, because you never know when they're gonna become in handy. Like if you run out of MP or something. All right, cool. So a little bit about the game itself. There's 3 classes. There are Street Samurais, which are your attackers, Deckers, which are the people that go into the Matrix, and Shaman, which casts spells. Fortunately, Jake is all 3 of these classes at the same time, which is impossible in the pen and paper version. But since it's the game, it doesn't really matter. It ends up being pretty good overall. There are a couple of Shadowruns you get throughout the game. One joins permanently, and one will last us until we're finished the Bremerton. So we have to do a bunch of duplication here to get enough money to afford everything we need for the next bit of the game. I used to think that the only way to get this to work was to mash it really fast. It works every time if you use a turbo controller, but there is actually a timing to it. That makes things a little bit easier. You'll see also that a lot of the same portraits are reused throughout the game. The only one who's actually unique is Jake's. Oh. Definitely lost my rhythm. I'll have to do one more duplication of the jacket. Turns out that duping can be a little bit harder depending on where you are for some reason. And even what item you're using. It seems like weapons are easier than armor. I don't know why that's the case though. So we're going to go until we have about 46,000 new yen there. So 2 more dupes. Perfect. Here we go, we'll buy some more grenades. You'll find they're pretty handy. Although sometimes they troll you and only do 1 damage. So we have the best weapon and the best armor for this point in the game, so we're pretty much set for a while. We need to buy all this stuff for spells later. In a normal run we'd skip getting the black potion bottle, but I'm going to grab the free spell to make a later boss fight a bit safer. And for that we need to grab the black potion bottle as well as kill the incubus later on. Alright, so for a little bit more of the story, at this point Jake's been told that he has got something in his head, so I'm going over this street dock to find out what's going on. Ask him about why my data jack's not working, and he gives me an examination. This is one of the rare instances in the game where you don't actually have to go into a conversation with someone to learn a keyword. Because we watched that scene, I learned the keyword Cortex Bomb, which is necessary to beat the game. So with the new route with duplication for infinite money, it makes it so we don't have to do any backtracking. Once you hit to 10th Street, we stay there for the rest of the game. Before in the route, you'd have to come back after you got some money. So that shaved off a significant amount of time. So we need to grab the water from the water fountain. That gives us one of the reagents we need for the invisibility spell, which is probably the best spell in the game. Alright, we're gonna get ambushed by 2 orcs. We kill the one on the left first because the one on the right initiates a dialogue once it dies. This key is almost impossible to pick up with that new yen over it. And again, Jake's talking to dogs. At the end of the game, you can decide whether or not this is all some drug-fueled trip or it actually happened. I think both interpretations are right, personally. You get smoked by cars here. They do about, I think, 4 to 6 damage. Alright, so this is the Glory Hole Hospital. You can get up to 10 in this place. Sometimes it's a complete nightmare to get through. So we get rid of the Cortex Bomb. You could beat the game fast enough and not have to come here, but removing the Cortex Bomb is the only way to get the head computer keyword, which you need at the very end of Drake Volcano. In addition, while we're here, we buy boosted reflexes. That increases your rate of fire by 50%. We'll be coming back here at the very end of the game to pick up the dermal plating, which adds 2 permanent defense. It makes it so the last dungeon, I guess, is a little bit safer. Alright, let's try not to get hit. Okay, I'm going to make a quick safety save here since we've done so much. I don't want to get gibbed in the Rust Stiletto's lair. We'll be coming back to this place quite often. This is one of the only places in the game where there's NPC interactions. We missed it because I was on the bottom of the screen, but there's a guy in there who starts shooting at another businessman. You can actually leave that guy alone and Norbert will kill him, but no point pretty much in this marathon run. So you'll see this is the exact same sprite as the guy in the weapon shop. Norbert's probably, I would say, the best Shadowrunner in the game. He starts with an Uzi and mesh jacket. Uzi is the exact same damage as the shotgun I have right now, except that it's fully automatic. Also, throughout the run, I'm going to be doing a little bit of extra combat to get more experience points, just to help smooth out some of the later areas. The way XP works in this game is every 8 experience points you get a point of karma, and then you spend karma in the various attributes. If you're fast enough, you can actually kill both orcs before they attack you. Alright. Use a quick slat patch here. Again, I'm just going to blow all my grenades. If we're lucky, we'll hit the guy on the left as well as the gang leader. There's no real way to aim the explosion of the grenade. It just does what it wants, pretty much. Yeah, that was a pretty good grenade barrage right there. So from beating the rust stilettos here, we gained 3 things. We learned the Drake keyword, which we need to use later. We got the password for Drake Towers, which again we need to use later, and it allows us to enter the Jagged Nails Club because we're a proven Shadowrunner now. Rest up one more time here. I need to put 1 point into Charisma. That allows me to have 2 Shadowruns instead of 1. So you can see these snipers are really dedicated to their job, hanging out in the rose bushes. Okay. You have to wait until she moves before she'll come down here. So Kitsune is the other Shadowrunner we get. She gives us what we need to meet the dog spirit, as well as she does something pretty unique in this game, and I'll talk about that when that comes up. But she's a really good Shadowrunner, especially early on, because she has a ton of MP. She has an equivalent of 17 in magic, and that's about 120 stat points. No, 200 stat points. This is really good, and she also has level 5 Summon Spirit, which is 1 away from max level. Summon Spirit is probably the best spell in the game. It does, hers at least does 5 to 25 damage, and it hits every enemy on the screen. You'll see extensive use of it when we do Drake Tower and do the Bremerton. You have to come here and talk to this guy to get the docs keyword. What the hell did they kill? Oh, that guy. So here's the dog spirit. He's our boy. He hooks us up with magic. He wants us to go kill the rat shaman. This is another part we skip in the any percent speedrun because we don't need to get freeze anymore. This thing has a lot of defense. I think it has 5 defense or something like that. I guess I never talked about damage in this game, but damage in this game is you have the base damage of the weapon, and then you have defense. It's always a flat reduction. So, say I hit the guy with the shotgun blast for 7 damage. He had 5 defense, it would take 2 damage. There's no other roll. If my shotgun, which has a range from 1 to 8, did anything below 5, there'd simply be no damage. This also works for your characters. Later on in the game, you'll see that I'll get 8 armor overall. It makes you pretty much impervious to the glory hole guys, but one of the downsides is you still get stunned, no matter what. Enemies don't get stunned, but you do, even if you take no damage. Let's see everybody's health. Wow, Kisane got fucked up. So here we come into the sewers, the lair of the infamous poop rats. These rats quite literally throw their feces at you. And that's their primary mode of attack. So even though you can't see where the summon spear is going, it is hitting every monster in this little part here. This guy's got a decent amount of defense, so it's best to just spam summon spirit. So we killed the rat shaman. He dropped $3,000 despite him living in the sewers, and some weird jester mask showed up. Okay, so this is what I was talking about when the Kitsune's quite unique. She'll stay with you for the rest of the game, as long as she doesn't die, if you bring her to kill the rat shaman. Alright. Oh. There we go. So we had to learn those 2 keywords in order to go to the Dark Blade. Anyways, so we got a Jester Spirit coming out of the Rat Shaman. So anybody who's still voting that this game is a drug trip, you're probably in the right direction. Alright, so we got a decent amount of karma now, and since we just got magic, we'll be spending pretty much all of our points in that. 1 point in cure or heal is enough for the entire game. You want to have at least 70 at this point for magic. There we go. We have 80 right now, and we'll upgrade firearm. Luckily, we don't need computers until just after the Bremerton. That gives us a lot of time to accumulate some karma. Ooh, that was a rather interesting lag spike there. I guess if you haven't been able to tell, this game has a lot of lag issues, especially when you go into combat. Alright, so this is the guy we talked to earlier. Getting his phone number lets us call the Dark Blade without having to go back or backtracking. This guy gives us a Strohs, which we need to kill the vampire later. And this is where that magic fetish I got comes into play. By talking to him and bringing that up, he opens up the gate to the Dark Blade headquarters. Alright, so since I did pretty decent with the duplication part, we're a tiny bit ahead of where I thought we would be at this point. So we'll do a little bit of fun and we'll go talk to Mr. Vladimir. That part's kind of funny. Alright, how much money do I have? Oof. We're upgrading our weapon here. Getting the same weapon that Norbert's using. It's the dwarf guy. Is the Uzi. I'm going to dupe it 2 times in case any of my Shadowrunners die. I need to buy them back. As well as I'm going to buy more grenades. Try using it on the Jester Spirit, but sometimes he's a dick and doesn't get hit by them. Normally we just walk past this guy, but like I said, we'll go talk to Mr. Vladimir. Huh? I'd be happy to have you for dinner. See? Huh? Vampires. Alright, and then here comes the funniest running animation in the game. Okay. Wow, no damage. So like I said earlier, the biggest benefit of the SMG over the Shotgun is that it's automatic. That holds true for you as well. You just have to hold down the button instead of tapping it. It's possible to get Uzi firing rate manually, but you have to do it perfectly. So here we're into the crypts. This, surprisingly enough, is probably one of the best places in the game to level up, because the ghouls never stop attacking you, and if you go into the bottom corner of one of those coffins, they can't actually reach you. So you can hire a bunch of Shadowrunners, position them correctly, and then go AFK for an hour, and you'll have 200 karma. So this is why we need to get the strobes. It blinds them, and that allows us to use the good old-fashioned stake. You have to use it a total of 3 times. So he won't tell you the correct name of the Jester Spirit the first time. He'll tell you Nirwanda, and if you go to the Jester Spirit and use that on him, or tell him that's his real name, he just boots you out and you have to come back here. So doing it the second time, he tells you the real one, and then the third time, kills him. There's a well-known, I guess you could call it a pseudo-exploit, is to go and complete the Bremerton, and then come back and kill the vampire again. It gives you 5,000 movement every time. But of course, the duplication exploit is much, much better for getting money. Alright, so now that we're armed with the Jester Spirit's true name, we can finally go to his headquarters and rough him up a bit. Why exactly do we need the Jester Spirit's help? I actually don't remember what they say in the game. I don't think it's really explained. What it's used for is pretty clear in gameplay-wise, but the explanation is really just not there. This is a really odd part of the game too. I think many people got lost here. You have to ask this guy about ice, which you can only learn from talking to the bartender here. And then you have to learn the docks keyword so he can dump it there, so that you can kill the mermaids that are all around Seattle and be able to go to the ship that you need to go to. Yeah, and of course, I probably didn't mention this, but this whole game takes place in Seattle. Alright. It's important to have an extra point of body here, just in case you get screwed over. We'll put another one in firearm. I think that's all we'll need for the rest of the game. This orc shows up magically after you dump the ice at the docks. He gives us one of the items we need later on. You get a little bit of boat action. Killing the guys on the decks here gives us about 5 extra karma, which we use for a body upgrade later. Nobody's taking much damage, it's pretty good. A little bit of animal cruelty coming up here. That dog color right there, I think it's a, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a dog color. Some other dog item that's used for, if you want Jake to learn Summon Spirit, but there's really no point. This part is entirely RNG. This can make or break a run. It all depends on how many enemies show up on your way through the Bremerton here. I'm going to reset this one because I can target Kitsune. There we go, that's better. Save key. So that broken bottle doesn't serve any purpose, really, but it's kind of handy for inventory management. It allows you to access some important stuff pretty quickly, as opposed to having to scroll through the menu a lot. Yeah, those ferocious orcs are real big pains in the ass. Alright, we don't want to bother fighting this guy, so we'll just keep coming back until he despawns. What the hell? The fuck is that? Alright, I actually haven't seen that before. For those that are curious, the thing I put in the potion bottle was the last ingredient we needed to make the invisibility spell. So the reason we had to do that is at the final area here, unless you activate the airlock and flood the chamber, you can't kill them. There's 4 invulnerable orcs in there that block your path to the safe we need to get to. Kitsune is taking on the chin. Or we're just going to be piecing it real quick here so we don't bother healing him. So it's a tiny bit faster to go and leave the room than just to wait for the bomb to go off. The prime strategy against those mages are to stand right next to them because their power ball will just explode and hit them as well. Overall, this was actually a very decent ship. Screw that. Oh, not this fucking thing. So if you get unlucky with where that thing spawns, you can't get past it sometimes. You have to be pretty fast in order to get to this guy on the first try. This is the reason we need to get the green bottle. If we could skip getting the green bottle, we would save a ton of time with this place. But as it stands, you need it to get through those guys. Alright, so we want Kitsune not to take any damage here. So we have her just cast a spell, which keeps her behind Jake. Also, I'm going to have her cast a spell here too, because she has no health. Come up to one of the trickier parts of the game. There's not really much you can do about it. TP shit. Wow, he's a lot. Alright, he's already on to phase 2. Let's see if he's gonna be nice with the grenades. So the Jester has an interesting property. He has 20 hit points at the very start. And then, after you do 20 damage, he has 40 hit points and only targets Jake with his plasma juggling balls, whatever the hell it is. So yeah, he's being a dick. So to defeat him, we just have to tell him his true name, which is Laughlin. And we ask him about Drake, and then we can use it as an item. And we are done the Bremerton. One odd property about the Jester Spirit is that You can't go fully automatic on him with the SMG. He's the only monster in the game that I'm aware that that's the case. Alright, so we're going to grab the mermaid scales. Like I said earlier, we killed all the mermaids around Seattle with that ice. And that gives us the final component we need for the freeze spell. So unfortunately, this is where the game shifts a lot. It turns from what you see here with the shooting and magic and all that into more of a minesweeper kind of thing. Sorry to say. Because now we have to go through the Matrix. The Matrix is much better done in the Genesis version, I'll say that about it. But it's still not super bad here. Although it is just a minesweeper clone. You know, we'll play it safe and we'll put that point in the body there. You can also go grab a new weapon right now, but using the Uzi is just fine for this point. I'm considering actually grabbing it from Drake, but we'll see how everything goes. They're really killing Kitsune fast there. So this is the Matrix. All the maps are predetermined, so there's no RNG aside from attacking ICs. Right, do I have invisibility? So with all the lag, this part can be pretty dangerous. So you'll notice that some of these have a little bit of a tune to them. I swear I heard Funky Town on one of them one time, but I might have been imagining that. Fuck's sake, alright. Crap. Got monstrously screwed by RNG here. So in this one we have to fight ICs. Like I said earlier, you have an 87.5% chance of succeeding, although it often doesn't feel like that. Everybody's hit points seem fine. Jake's a bit low on spell points. Wow, she took it on the chin there. Really bad RNG. Holy crap. So you'll see this is the same one that I did earlier. I think there are only 4 unique matrix grids in this game. There we go. In all likelihood, because I've been having such bad luck, I'm going to have to head back and go to the bed a little bit sooner than I want to here. I don't know, maybe not. Do some more slap patches here, just in case we get screwed over by an IC. Alright, so this is the 5th floor, right? Need to go here to unlock the 6th floor. See, combat failed. You die in the Matrix, you die for real. Alright. Should be good to finish this place off before we go back. So normally you can't use a cyber deck in combat, but it only counts if you can actually see the enemies. It's pretty useful. This, you might remember, is the exact same grid as the 1st floor. You have to wait for the elevator message or it bugs out. Alright, so now we have to go heal up in preparation for the volcano. The volcano actually isn't too bad. So at this point we can more or less let Kitsune die with little to no negative effects. But I'm going to try and keep her around for a little bit because her healing does come in handy in case I get screwed over. As you saw in that last Matrix run there, that I had, I think, 3 failed combats. Freeze. Okay. So another reason we have to go to the Gesture Spirit is that he's the only one who teaches us the volcano keyword. There's some tricky matrix grids down here. But fortunately we don't have to go through the super big one to get the big amount of cash. That used to be in the run. It was a real huge pain in the ass. Don't like scientists, so we'll just ice that guy. Alright, which one is this? Oh yeah. Alright, failing 2 combats right off the bat, time to heal. So you can see how Kitsune can be useful no matter what. Back in we go. So like I said, 87.5% chance to succeed, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. Kill this guy, or also throw a ton of grenades, which lags up the place quite considerably. Alright, this one's a little bit tricky. I'm going to take the safe paths. We don't have to do too many combats. Alright. I'm not super sure. I have to look at my maps. Some of them might only have one solution, which is combat. jeez. Let's bring in the heat. Jiseed's almost dead. Alrighty. I'm just gonna let Kitsune die, we don't really need her anymore. So it's important to use the Gesture Spirit right off the bat or you can get stun locked to death. So what this does is it reduces Drake's hit points by 3/4. You want to go up when the shards are coming down. Or else he'll breathe fire on us like that. Luckily he's frozen now. As long as we have due diligence, he won't be able to kill us. Perfect. So unfortunately he's frozen, so we have to wait until he actually dies. But yeah, any percent strategy is to find the dead spot, where he'll start using only the icicle move, and you stand here and you shoot him. But it's pretty risky because he can get stun locked to death. Freeze is a lot safer. So this is where we need to use head computer. So I guess I should update on the story because I haven't done that for a while. So apparently Jake's head contains like some anti-AI thing, and it's going to destroy the Aneki AI that's going to take over the entire Matrix. And that's why everybody's trying to kill you. So what we got to do is head over to Aneki and take care of the AI ourselves. To save some time, I'm just going to go and buy the items I need now in case I do have to reload, because you can get screwed really hard against the final boss, quote unquote, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Alright. So now we can buy the best stuff in the game. Can't equip either of these things yet because I need to get 6 strength. Now I can equip our shit. Alright, so that was the dermal plating. It's another base 2 defense, so right now I have 8 defense. This is where things start to get a little bit dicey in the Matrix because the ICs start doing 48 max. So if you get unlucky on a roll, you can die in one hit. It's very rare that it happens, though, you know, obviously. This is one of the longer matrix grids in the game. All right. I have one more slap patch left. I do not. Well, you know, we'll heal to be safe here. So we need to come to this one to get the anti-detection program for the 3rd floor. Alright. So I reset the elevator there because a troll decker comes out and blows the shit up out of you. The only way to deal with it is either just take the hits or waste MP, which I don't have a lot of, or to reset it by entering and leaving the area. Cost me a bit of time, but you're safe than sorry, I'd say. You have to blow up the middle one or else the elevator doesn't activate for whatever reason. And that's what I was talking about. Alright. Alright, so here we are finally at the AI computer. There we go. Short little exit scene that has no bearing on the rest of the story. And there we go. Credits time. There you go, that's Shadowrun. Like I said, the end of the game's a little bit wonky because of all of the Matrix stuff, but it's still a fun game overall, I'd say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I don't know what we got coming up next, but I'm sure it'll be up pretty soon here.